the brush got stuck. Like what? Hey, welcome back. Yeah, it's been a while. If you don't know who I am, I'm Liz.Aesthetics. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, here, YouTube. Been a minute, guys. I really haven't been doing much besides working on clients, and I need to get back to my content with you guys. So I do have some ideas. I just need to create like a not a slideshow, well, a slideshow for me to like follow through, or like a guide for me to know what I'm talking about. Or the video I want to do with you guys is what certain curls to use on certain natural lashes. So that will be the next video. I just wanted to get pictures to show you guys what those natural lashes and the curl of the extension will work best with. So that will come soon. But yeah, we hit 1,000 subscribers. Yes. We accomplished that goal. That was my goal for just to start, you know. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that have subscribed and are watching my videos, that are commenting on my videos with great feedback, saying that my videos are helping you guys with lashing. That is great to know, so I can create more videos like those. Please put those suggestions down below, what types of videos you will benefit out of, so I can create those for you. Today's video is just really a sit down chit chat with you guys. Where have I been, and then also read some lash horror stories, or just any horror stories that we can come up with. And maybe it will benefit you guys who are in the service industry, like the beauty industry, that are servicing clients and know how to navigate through these situations, you know, because you'll never know what you'll run into. And with good advice, with someone who experienced like issues with clients, will help a lot with navigating those issues before they get to you, so you know how to handle those situations once they get to you guys. And hopefully you don't, you know, but if you do, at least you'll know an idea of how to prepare yourself for those situations. So that will be in this video. But again, thank you for the 1,000 subscribers. I think we're now at 1,060 something, I think. But again, I appreciate each and every one of you. So where have I been? Yeah, I've been really working, you know, trying to work on a project right now, and that's another video that's coming later. But I can't post right now, obviously. It's not finished, but yeah, there's a new adventure that we're gonna be going on soon, and I can't wait for that to tell you guys what's going on. So that's what I've been doing in the back end of my disappearance. Really just working on clients, and really that's it. So let's just get on to these horror stories. I'm gonna remain these stories anonymously. We're just here for the stories, and that's it, and see what we can do with a solution if they don't have one. So this person has sent me saying that she dropped glue on her, well, I'm gonna read it how she says it. She said, I dropped glue on my lash brush, and my brushes brushed through her lashes at the end and twisted the brush, and the brush got stuck.
Oh my god!
Like what? And she said she was using a clear glue. She didn't realize it until it was too late. So when she went to go brush it, that's when she noticed that all the lashes were sticking together. She said, I twisted it through the top, so I applied glue remover, and got off. So that's how she was able to resolve it. And the client stayed for another 4 years after that. So, but that was her stressful moment at that time. Oh my God. I would have freaked out. I wouldn't know what to do. Um, I think that's happened to me one time, but with black glue. And I think it was with the glue ring. I tried to use a glue ring and it kind of spilled a little bit on the girl's forehead. But that was easy to come off. So, but there has been times where, you know, naturally when you apply lashes, sometimes when you go and apply, sometimes it'll touch another lash. So that will cause glue on that lash extension, the tip of it. So you just easily remove it with tweezers, detach it. But yeah, nothing too crazy. So that's what happened with that girl. So here's another story. It says, okay, so I think we all have seen or heard about the wonders of eyelash extensions. If you haven't looked them up, the glue lashes to your own lashes to make them look out of this world. I thought, why not? Let's do it. The lady that did them actually put them too close to my tear ducts, and it was burning my eyes afterwards. Of course, it was. Well, of course, it was after I paid and left. She told me to take them off with olive oil or hot water. It didn't work. In fact, I lost almost all of my eyelashes. I have bald spots now. My eyelids sting. If I would move one of the eyelashes that are there, it's so painful. I'm wearing fake lashes to cover it because I look like I'm ill. I need some help. What do I do? And how do I get them to grow back? So this one's on Reddit. I didn't get a lot of stories get sent to me, and that's alright. So I searched them myself. So, because I wanted to create a video like this for a while, so why not search for them? So the girl, so I guess that she's experiencing lashes that were glued pretty much on her skin or towards the inner tear duct. So the lady placed them too far in. And there's an exception when you do that. I know we always say that make sure you lash all the way towards the inner corner and lash the outer corners as well. Don't just leave them out. But there's an exception where some people will grow hair all the way towards the inner corner. That doesn't mean to lash those. You just lash where it will complement them so naturally, and just lash there, and then they won't even notice a set. But if you stop like towards the before the inner corners, then it's gonna look off and you're gonna have like just half of the set done, you know what I mean? So that's why it's important to lash the inner corners but not fully all the way. So for example, this irritated her and it was bugging her. So, and I'm assuming they also lashed all the other lashes as well on her skin, which is also a no-no for us because it will cause irritation. So the lady suggested her to remove it with olive oil or hot water. So that already is a red flag. That is not a real lash tech. Maybe she is new. I don't know. But that's not how you do it. I would have suggested her to come back to me and we would have done a professional removal. Because then it wouldn't have caused damage then. But I'm assuming also maybe it was done with clusters. So what clusters lashes are is they're like the ones you buy at the stores or like the ones that are viral right now. But there's some people that would advertise it as eyelash extensions and they will put a lot of glue so it can last for like the 2 weeks or whatever, and that is very damaging because that is glued all on top of your lashes, and if you have like gunk of glue, then imagine just a thick band of glue stuck onto all their natural lashes, and we already know that each natural lash grows differently at a different rate. So you might have an adult lash next to a baby lash. So if they're stuck together, that adult lash is growing already, ready to come out, and it's gonna force that baby lash to kind of grow out faster or cause damage because it's weighing that adult lash is weighing that baby lash. So it's gonna cause damage to that baby lash and maybe not make it grow or make it grow slower. But yes, that's why we don't like cluster lashes. So my advice, girl, is go do research. Research on your lash tag. Don't just go to anybody because it's cheap. We all know that beginners, they have a cheaper price, which is fine. But as long as you're saying that you're a beginner and you are practicing to get better, then that's fine, because then you have the client be aware of what's happening. But as a beginner, you also have to do things properly, not just because of the money. You're working around people's eyes, and you can cause damage to their eyes. And this is why you can't just learn off of YouTube or TikTok videos. You literally have to take a one-on-one class in person is best, because if you do it in person rather than online, you have somebody to tell you, no, don't do it that way, do it this way instead, or just tell you like what you're doing wrong during the whole process of it. So that is terrible. Terrible. All right, so here's another one. So it says, short story. I got lash extensions done by a girl who is a receptionist at a salon that I go to. I didn't know she did them out of her house until the day of my appointment, but went anyway. So I came in and lay on her table, and she gets started. Not even 10 minutes later, and her next appointment shows up. So then I feel like she's rushing. I could smell the glue, and occasionally my eyes would burn. Afterwards, my lashes felt a little tight and uncomfortable. As she was finishing up, I told her I felt like something was poking me in a few different areas, so she kept saying it was a gel pad and that she removed it all. So I finished, and she shows me my lashes, which from a distance they looked fine. I get to my car and looked in the mirror, and I could see a huge chunk of glue with a few lashes stuck together. My lashes felt crunchy and hurt to brush. I went back inside with the girl on her table and told her what I saw and if she could remove that piece. She kept picking at it, saying it was the gel pad, and I told her I felt like she was plucking them out. In which she kept saying, "Oh gosh, no, I would never do that." I went back to my car after the most painful picking and noticing a missing cluster of lashes. I was so pissed and left. 100% plucked 3 to 4 lashes out. Was up until 1 a.m. finding another lash tag that could remove them. She removed them the next day, but boy, there was so much glue that wouldn't come off even after she let them soak. It looked like I had lice in my lashes, but thankfully, all the glue finally came out after 4 days. She then applied a new set and are gorgeous. Now I have an ethical dilemma. I have no idea in the state of Tennessee you need to be licensed esthetician or cosmetologist to be certified. This girl claims she was trained and certified in lashes. She's putting these awful lashes on girls, and I can't imagine how they go more than 1 day with those things on their eyes. Multiple lashes were stuck together on mine. I can't imagine the shedding process. I learned she is actually about to graduate from her esthetician program. But is there any way to report her, or is that bad? I feel responsible in a slight way to inform people of the wrongdoing she is doing to these poor women who got to her because she is well known around town among the 20-something girls. Thank you in advance. Dang, girl. So yeah, she was probably new. Thankfully she is graduating from esthetician school, but a license does not matter really. Well, it does matter because you want to be professional, be licensed through the state without getting in trouble by the state. So that's why you have to have a license, and this is all varies with each state. So you want to look at your state, search up if you have to be licensed to do lash extensions. So that's my suggestion. In my state, in Michigan, you do have to be licensed in esthetician or cosmetology. Um, so she seemed like she was a beginner. And she obviously was using a lot of glue, so that's where she noticed that there was chunks of glue and a whole bunch of lashes attached to each other. So how to avoid these things is literally practicing, guys. You literally need to practice on your mannequin head. um, if you have a mannequin head that has one layer of lashes, add multiple strips on top of it, like 3 4 layers of it, because that will mimic like a human's lash. Yeah, it's straight, so it's not helpful in that way, but at least you can get the idea of how many natural lashes you would run into. Um, because isolating is very, very important. And as you can see or hear, that she experienced irritation because of all the clumpness and stuff. And every time she brushed, it was sore. So that is why we have to isolate properly, use enough glue, but not a lot where there's glue dripping literally down the natural lash. That is, you don't need a lot of glue, but you need enough to be able to hold the 2 to 3 week mark. Um, but yeah, that would be my suggestion for the lash tech, is to keep practicing. Yes, you need to practice on people to get that experience as well. But like I just told one of my clients who's learning how to do lashes, I told her, like, literally don't worry about the time, worry about the quality that you're doing, because that's what's going to make your clients come back. I used to be told that you need to have your sets at 2 hours, 2.5 hours. The less time you do, the more clients you can have. Yeah, that's true, but that's not the main goal. The main goal is to have quality lashes, make the lashes last longer. So what I did was, instead of focusing on the time, I started focusing on what I'm doing. Literally, how am I placing these lashes on the natural lash? If I want them to look neat, I gotta make sure they're all facing or aligning how the shape of the eyelid. So to get that neat look, you don't want them to like be turning, and that's just gonna give it a messy look, not really clean. And then with volume fanning, of course, each fan that you pinch or however you make your fans is not always going to be the perfect fan. So you will run into a fan that is not working. You have to let that one go and keep trying until you get the perfect one that you like, and then place it. So it takes a lot of practice, a lot of patience for yourself. I am now on 6 years of being a lash tech, so took me a while to learn to do what I'm doing now, and I'm still learning. There's new styles out there, new ways to do lashes. So literally, take your time, learn them. Once you feel confident on doing it on clients, then go ahead and practice it. I like to do little discounts on clients. Like if I want to practice on a set, I'm like, hey, I want to try this set. I'll give you some money off just for letting me do the set. And they're like, okay, cool. So that's a way to try new things as well. Even new glues, new lashes, new whatever. So, yeah. So please, please, please isolate. Isolate as best as you can. Spread those tweezers wide open so you're not seeing any other lashes in your ways. I know baby lashes are annoying, but put your tweezers lower so you can move those little baby lashes out the way. So that is my advice if you ever feel like you are not if you feel like you're running into stickies, so if the lashes are sticking together, my advice is for you to literally take your time. So let's find another one. So I have a kind of a lash horror story. So this this happened maybe like at my 2 year mark of doing lash extensions. So, and during that time, I was using pre-mates for volumes and hybrids. So, this client, she's a new client. She comes to me and I was doing it from home. And so, yeah, she comes in and I greet her. Everything's cool. She's super nice. Hugged me at the end of the service. Um, So yeah, I always ask, and I suggest you guys to do this. I asked her, "Have you had lash extensions before?" And she said, "Yes, I have, but they irritated me like a week or two. I can't remember what she said, but a week or two." And then she ended up taking them off. I'm like, "Okay, well, since you had a reaction before, let's do a patch test." And she didn't know what a patch test was, so I explained it to her. Where we do some like everything the same as we were doing a full set, but instead of doing a full set, we're just adding like 3 lashes on each of your lashes just to get a taste. So your skin, your eyes can get a taste of the products, and then we can know in like a day or two if you do have a reaction. She's like, okay, cool, let's do that. So I do the whole process, and before I even placed a lash extension, she said, "Oh, did you place it already?" And I said, "No." And then I placed it, and I was like, "Now I did." So, and then she's like, "Oh, okay." So I did the 3 to 4, and I dried her lashes, and I explained to her, "Okay, we're gonna wait like a day or two. Let me know if you feel any itchiness. If it's starting to get a little puffy or a little red, then that means it's a reaction to the glue." And she's like, "Okay. Well, honestly, right now it's not bothering me. With the other girl, it bothered me right away. Red flag." So I'm like, "Okay, well, that's good. But we still need to wait. And then we can do your full set afterwards." And she was like, "Well, I really love your work. I love how lashes look. I just like how I wake up and I'm ready. And I don't know, I just really love your work." I'm like, "Okay, that's good." And then I think I said, "I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Like, are you wanting me to do a full set?" 'Cause she had said something else, and I said that. And she was like, "Yeah, I just really love your work, and I love lashes." I'm like, "Well, I really feel like you should wait because you were sensitive before." And she was like, "I know, it's just I can't wait." And I'm like, "So you want me to keep going?" And she was like, "Yeah, just go ahead and do the full thing." I'm like, "Okay, I really feel like you should wait, but I'll do the set." So did the whole set, sent her off, told her to still like let me know if you feel any irritation. And then and she paid as well. So what happened? So the next day I had a full-time job as well. So I was at work, and then I get a call in the morning. It was like 7 in the morning or something. And it's her saying like, "Hey, do you have time to do a removal?" And I said, "Yeah, I have 3 o'clock available." And I, mind you, my first client, technically my first client that day was at 3:30 or yeah, I think it was 3:30. I know it was like close in time. I'm like, "Oh shoot." So um then what happened? She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, what happened?" And she said, "Yeah, I woke up to go get ready for work, and my eyes felt really watery, and I looked in the bathroom, my eyes were so swollen and irritated. Even my husband was like, 'Oh my God, what happened to you?' And then so that's when she decided to call me and stuff like that. So I was like, "Okay, we'll come at this time and we can do a removal." So I go home, I rush, and I'm like freaking out because that other client is so close to time. I'm not sure how long it's going to be the removal and stuff like that. Thankfully, that client was like, "Oh, I'm going to be late. Can we push it to like 4 o'clock instead?" I was like, "Yeah, perfect." So then that client, 3 o'clock comes, nothing. 3:05, that's at 5 minutes after their initial time. I always give like, "Hey, just wondering if you're close by and if everything's okay. I have you down for 3 o'clock today. Let me know." And then now I have like a policy. Before I was still trying to figure out my policy, so but now I have it where I copy and paste. So I have it on my notes, so I can just copy and paste. But It says if you are 10 minutes late, there'll be a $5 charge. If you're 15 minutes late, then the appointment will be canceled, and there'll be a late cancellation fee for that. Or if there's communication, but if there's no communication, then that's a no-show. So then it'll be a full price. So that says it all there. And then so she didn't have it at that time. So I just told her like, hey, are you coming? And she's like, oh, I can come now. Girl, your appointment was at 3. What do you mean? So I was like, yes, come now. And then so she comes and she brings her daughter. And then her daughter brings her daughter. So there's a little kid. I'm like, great. I feel like I'm about to get jumped. So they sit down and I looked at the client and I'm like, oh my God, I felt so bad because I believe this was my first time dealing with a reaction. And her eyes were like puffy, very watery, like very swollen. They weren't like swollen like if you were allergic to a cat, you know, I don't know, like that severe, but they were just very watery and irritated as well. So I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I'm sorry that you went through this. We definitely have to do a removal. And I would suggest you to go to your doctor to give you some type of medicine to calm down the irritation. Because I can't suggest you anything besides Benadryl to just relieve some of it. And she was like, okay. So I started doing the removal. And she's like, yeah, it's so weird how it happened this bad. And I'm like, oh, I know, like maybe it's because this is your second time getting them done that it got worse. So the more you do it, the worse it gets, right? So she's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna argue with a client. I'm just gonna be like, okay, whatever. And started washing her lashes and all that. And then she was like, I feel like it's your products. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm not sure. I haven't experienced it with anybody else. So at least you know now that lash extensions is not meant for you because you're already sensitive to it. And she's like, yeah, it's so unfortunate. I really love lashes and blah, blah. So she sits up and then I told her again, like, yeah, I would suggest you to go to your doctors and blah, blah. Then here comes the question, do I get my money back? So I was contemplating on this because, again, this was my first time running into a situation like this. So I was in lash groups, so I was asking questions on there when I was at work, like, do I give her money back? Because that was the thing in my head. And everybody was saying no because you told her and she insisted on you doing it. So no, you don't give her money back. If she did a full patch test and then you noticed that she was getting a reaction, then yeah, because at that time I still was trying to figure out my booking site. So the booking site had allowed her to pay it in advance. So instead we had switched the patch test, so she already still had paid for her full set. And if anything, I was gonna move that payment to the next day. If the patch test went good, then she didn't have to pay the day of the full set because she already paid. You know what I mean? So she already paid in advance, and she asked that, and I'm like, unfortunately, no, you cannot. She was like, oh my gosh, why? And I said, because you insisted on doing the full set, and if you were to do a patch test and this would have happened, then yes, I would have gave you your money back. But unfortunately, you insisted on me to continue a full set, and that's when I can't allow you to get your money back. Then her daughter says, what's a patch test? So I explained it to her, and she's like, oh. So I noticed that she was like, Mom, you should have did the patch test. So she gets up and she's like, wow, well, I might as well send you the doctor bill. I'm like, that's how low we're going? Okay. But I just was like, I'm sorry that you're going through this, but I hopefully it gets better, whatever. And then as I'm walking her out, she turns around and says, are you licensed? I'm like, yeah. I have my license over there, my certificate. Do you want to see it? No. I just want to make sure you're using professional products. I'm like, okay. And then she leaves. After she left, I started freaking out. Like, I wanted to call everybody on my phone to just vent to about this moment. I called my trainer. She didn't answer. I called my sister. She didn't answer. I called my best friend. She didn't answer. So I'm like, oh my God. My boyfriend at the time, he was working, so I couldn't call him. So I was just like, oh my God, am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to get reported? Am I going to lose my license? So nothing happened, thankfully. After a month or two later, I wanted to reach back out just to see how it all went. I was like, no, that's going to open another door. So that's one of my horror stories. So yeah, that's how I navigated it, and I'm glad I did. I don't regret how I navigated any of that, because I didn't argue with the girl. I literally just let her believe whatever she believes, but I'm gonna stand on my payment. You're not going to get your money back because you didn't follow the patch test. If you did a patch test and then it happened, then yes, I will give your money back. I have it now where if you don't do the patch test, you do the full set, and then you get a reaction, you don't get your money back. If you did a patch test and nothing happened, and then you did a full set and then something happens, and I'll get half the money back because you did do the patch test. So that is my tip for you guys. If you want to take that, go ahead. But that was very scary for me. Yeah. So another story that I have is with a recent client. She's already came to me with 4 appointments, I believe. And when she initially reached out to me saying like, hey, your cousin recommended me to you to do my lashes. I had just recently got them done about a couple of days ago, and they are just not it. So I want to go to you and see what you can do. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So she comes to me, and I like looked at her like face to face. I'm like, oh, it looks like you need a fill. Like it's not even like, if you said it, you just got done a few days ago, it should be full, right? But it looks like a fill, like a 2-week fill, 2.5-week fill. So I sit down and I looked at our view, our top view. I'm like, and I'm gonna post pictures. I'm gonna show you the pictures right here. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you have gaps in your lashes. What did they do to you? And she was like, oh my God. And I took pictures. I showed her these pictures. And she was like, oh my God, I did not realize they were this bad. She said she went to multiple people. Well, beforehand, she was going with her friend, who is a lash tech. And she would drive in a couple hours away to get her lashes done, and she didn't mind it. But they weren't friends no more. So that's when she started looking for new lash tech. And then she just went to recommendations, and these recommendations weren't fitting her. Like they weren't lasting or giving what she wanted. So then there was like one lash tech that, I don't even know how this is possible, where her natural lashes started falling off as well. And that's where it led the gaps. And then she went to another lash tech before she came to me, and the lashes weren't lasting. They started falling a little quicker, and then she came to me. So I explained to her, well, this is why. Is because the reason why they're not looking as full as you want them is because you barely have any natural lashes. Pretty much she had natural lashes from the middle towards the inner corner. They looked healthy, but towards the other half, towards the end, they were really damaged. And she said she would get 16s, cat eye look. And I told her, usually I did suggest to take these off and take a break. Use some lash serum just to heal her natural lashes and allow them to breathe and to grow back again. But she is very on social media, so she was like, no, I don't even want to use strip lashes because I know that's also damaging, and I know I'm not going to apply them properly. So I really need lash extensions. So I'm like, okay, if that's the case, let's just tone down the lashes. So we started doing 13s, and then I was like, we're just gonna work with what we can until those lashes grow. I'm not putting any lashes on those baby lashes because those are baby lashes that are growing. Once they grow to a certain length, then I can start adding lashes to those. And she's like, bet. So yeah, now, and I'm gonna keep showing you guys pictures of how from her second appointment. I think I didn't take a picture at her third appointment, or maybe I did. But I'll insert that here as well. But after that, now she had her appointment yesterday. Her lashes are fully healed, very strong lashes. She now has a full set of lashes that are lasting, and that was crazy. Like, how I don't know how that is possible unless the lash tags are attaching, or maybe that lash tag attached so many natural lashes that it was literally causing damage. But she had a lot. Like, I don't understand how that happens. But yeah, she now is with me. She is now sticking with 13s, and I'm happy for her to do that, because using long lashes can damage your lashes eventually. After so many times of having them on, they can damage. Even though you're using like 0.3s or whatever, it's still not a natural length to have. You just gotta be really careful, to be honest, with using that long lengths, because yeah, it's just our natural lashes can't hold that really. So that's why we most lash tags like to target more with the 15s, at least the longest, and then anything shorter after that, because those are kind of healthy still, whereas 16s and 20s, that is not healthy for the natural lashes. So but yeah, I'm happy that she was able to recover her natural lashes. She's so happy now. I'm happy that I even took those pictures to show the transformation. So you really have to be careful, guys, with what products you're using. I don't know. She feels like it's the products that probably damaged her lashes and caused her natural lashes just to go in shock and fall off. Maybe. I don't know. I never heard of that. But just be careful. Please make sure you're isolating. This is why it's important to isolate. Make sure you're seeing what you're doing with your natural lashes, with their natural lashes, because you don't want to cause damage, and then they're gonna start noticing if they're not full like they usually are. So, and we need their natural lashes to give a certain look that we want to target, or give them what they want. I think that's enough for this video. If you have any horror stories or any advice that you need from me to navigate certain situations, just drop them down below, or message me on Instagram and I can help you out there. Yeah. And again, thank you for the support. Thank you for the subscribers that I have now. I love you guys. This is not the end. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I can't wait till that happens. My goal is to make that happen by the end of this year if possible. Yeah, stay tuned for more future videos. Please follow me everywhere on my social media. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to keep learning about lash extensions. And continue watching my journey as well. So I'm sharing everything, not just lashes. I'm sharing bits and parts of my life, any trips that I go to. There are trips that I'm planning on going with some friends, my sister, concerts. So I will try to do some vlogs. I know those aren't really popular on my site, but I personally enjoy watching them. But I know you guys like to watch more of the lash videos because those are helpful. I like to watch lash videos too. So I need to get on the grind with those as well for you guys. My goal is to hopefully try to be more, what's the word? Have like a calendar of what I want to create to make sure I actually do them. You know what I mean? Like a planner. So Hopefully that would keep me grounded on doing content for you guys. So again, thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.